They say destiny is a path written in the stars. But for the ancestors, destiny was something far more intimate. It was not floating somewhere beyond the heavens, but living inside your head, beneath your skull, pulsing quietly with every heartbeat. They called it Ori, the divine head, the spiritual compass, the essence of who you truly are before the world teaches you otherwise. Your Ori is not merely a belief, it's a design, a quantum blueprint encoded in the unseen fabric of your being. Every decision, every coincidence, every moment of clarity or confusion whispers from this inner architect. In Yoruba wisdom, your Ori is older than your name. It's the contract your soul made with the universe before it descended into flesh. It is both map and mirror, revealing the destiny you chose long before you learned to speak. Science calls it probability. Spirituality calls it purpose. The ancients called it Ori. Three languages describing one truth. Reality responds to the frequency of your consciousness. Long before quantum physicists debated about particles and waves, the African sages already taught that your thoughts and intentions shape the world around you. You are not walking through reality, you are shaping it with every step. But here's the secret the world forgot. Your Ori is not random. It's precision, harmony, mathematics of spirit. When aligned, your life unfolds with grace. Opportunities meet you halfway, people resonate with your energy, and your path feels divinely choreographed. But when disconnected, life feels heavy, chaotic, and repetitive. The same lessons return, the same mistakes reappear, all because your Ori is trying to call you home. Across the continent, in whispers and rituals, in prayers and poetry, the elders tried to preserve this truth, that man is not just body and bone, but energy and code. And at the center of that code lies Ori, the intersection between your divine potential and your physical experience. Understanding it is not religion, it's remembering. It's the ancient African technology of becoming who you were always meant to be. This is the story of Ori, the quantum blueprint of your African destiny. Long before the first telescope searched the stars, the Yoruba people understood that existence was layered, a dance between spirit and matter, between the visible and the invisible. To them, life was not random chaos, but an organized symphony, composed by forces greater than human comprehension. At the center of this sacred arrangement stood one of the most profound ideas in African philosophy, Ori. In Yoruba cosmology, every human being is born with three essential components: Ara, the body; Emi, the breath of life; and Ori, the divine consciousness. The Ori is not simply the physical head, but the seat of destiny, intuition, and divine intelligence. It is both the receiver and transmitter of spiritual messages, the interface between your earthly self and your higher purpose. The Yoruba believe that before birth, each soul kneels before Olodumare, the supreme source, to choose its destiny. This sacred moment is called Akunleyan, the kneeling of choice. There, the soul selects its Ori, a unique path of purpose, lessons, and experiences that will unfold in the material world. It is said that once the soul accepts its Ori, it forgets everything, and the journey of remembering begins. Your Ori is your true king. Even the Orishas, powerful deities of nature and spirit, bow before one's Ori. For in Yoruba wisdom, no god can bless you beyond the permission of your own Ori. It is your personal deity, your divine representative in the cosmic order. That is why elders say, Ori Labo. It is the Ori that we must first honor. Because if your Ori does not approve, nothing in heaven or earth can align for you. Across generations, griots and elders passed this wisdom through proverbs and rituals. They taught that alignment with Ori is not about superstition, but synchronization, attuning your human will to the vibration of your divine design. When a person forgets their Ori, they wander. When they remember, life begins to harmonize with unseen forces. It is through divination, the Ifa system, that many reconnect with their Ori. The Babalawo, through sacred verses called Odu, interprets the messages of destiny. But even Ifa reminds us, Ori is the first oracle. Before the spirits speak, your Ori has already spoken. This profound teaching reveals a truth that modern minds are only beginning to rediscover, that consciousness precedes creation. Interestingly, when physicists describe the universe as made of vibrations, probabilities, and waveforms awaiting observation to become real, they echo what Yoruba mystics knew for millennia, that the observer is not separate from what is observed. In essence, your Ori is the observer, shaping your destiny through the quality of your awareness. From the ancient towns of Ife to the far corners of the diaspora, this knowledge endured. Through songs, carvings, and prayers, Africans preserved the understanding that destiny is not punishment or reward, it is remembrance. To remember your Ori is to awaken your original agreement with the universe. So when the drum calls, when intuition whispers, when coincidences align, it is not luck, it is your Ori knocking on the door of your consciousness, reminding you of the divine signature you once chose. And each time you listen, you step closer to the sacred pattern you came to complete. In the laboratories of the modern world, scientists probe into the deepest layers of reality, breaking atoms, colliding particles, and mapping the invisible energy fields that weave existence together. What they've discovered is unsettling and extraordinary. The universe is not solid, but fluid, not static, but responsive. Matter, they say, is mostly empty space, an orchestra of probabilities vibrating into form. For those who understand Ori, this revelation is not new. The Yoruba sages may not have used the language of quantum physics, but they described the same mystery through spirit. They taught that reality is woven from the unseen, from Ase, the vital energy that animates all things. Everything, from the stars to the soul, moves to the rhythm of Ase, and within each person, the Ori is the conductor of that energy, the observer that gives it shape. In quantum science, observation collapses possibilities into a single reality. Until something is observed, it exists in a state of infinite potential. The moment attention is placed on it, the wave collapses and one outcome is chosen. To the Yoruba, this is the same principle expressed through destiny. Your Ori is the observer, the conscious presence that decides which of life's countless possibilities becomes real. When your Ori is clear, your perception is clear, and reality aligns accordingly. The ancients understood this through stories. They said that when your Ori is asleep, your world becomes foggy. You stumble, repeat cycles, and feel trapped by chance. But when your Ori awakens, it becomes a beam of consciousness that rearranges your external world. The physical follows the spiritual. Just as particles respond to observation, your life responds to the quality of your awareness. Alignment with Ori is not a metaphor, it is a science of consciousness. Modern thinkers like Albert Einstein and Niels Bohr argued about this strange phenomenon, how consciousness interacts with matter. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. But African mystics already had a term for this, Ase and Ibatan, the invisible bond between all things. The Yoruba never separated science from spirit because in their view, everything is alive, everything communicates, and everything is connected. When you speak words of power, prayers, affirmations, chants, you are not performing superstition, you are altering frequencies. The Yoruba call it Ofa Se, the power of utterance. Quantum theory calls it wave interference. Both describe how intention reorganizes the invisible field. Your Ori, as the inner observer, is the source of that power. Through it, thoughts become vibrations, vibrations become energy, and energy crystallizes into experience. Consider how scientists now study quantum entanglement, where two particles separated by galaxies still mirror each other's behavior. In Yoruba cosmology, this is the same as ancestral connection. You carry not just genetic memory, but spiritual resonance, a network of consciousness linking you to your lineage. When you honor your Ori, you harmonize not only with your own destiny, but with those who came before you. Their wisdom, strength, and unfinished dreams flow through your awareness. The Yoruba say, a person without Ori cannot walk well, even if they have strong legs. This wisdom finds its echo in the scientific principle that energy must have a guiding frequency to organize itself. Without alignment, even immense power leads nowhere. The difference between chaos and creation is coherence. The same coherence that the Ori maintains within your spiritual field. Imagine life as a cosmic drum. Every being beats their rhythm, but not all drums are in tune. Your Ori is the tuner. It calibrates your vibration to the universal rhythm of your purpose. When you act against it, your frequency distorts, and the music of your life loses harmony. When you act in alignment, everything begins to synchronize: time, opportunity, people, events. It's not coincidence, it's quantum resonance. Western science is beginning to whisper what African mysticism has sung for centuries, that reality is consciousness playing hide and seek with itself. The observer and the observed are one. To the Yoruba, that means your Ori and your destiny are one, two faces of the same eternal intelligence. This is why traditional prayers to Ori begin with reverence, not request. You don't beg your Ori for blessings, you align with it, because your Ori already knows your highest design. It is your divine algorithm, constantly decoding potential realities and guiding you toward the one that matches your soul's vibration. So when modern science marvels that consciousness may be the universe observing itself, the Yoruba nod quietly. They already knew. They carried that truth in chants, in names, in dances, in dreams. For them, consciousness was not a byproduct of the brain, but the signature of the divine. And within every human being lies a spark of that same consciousness, the Ori, the quantum observer seated in the heart of an African soul. There is a silence that follows when a person drifts away from their Ori, a deep, invisible ache that no amount of success can soothe. It begins as a whisper, a quiet discomfort that something is off. But if ignored, it grows louder, turning into confusion, frustration, and self-sabotage. To live out of alignment with your Ori is to live as a stranger inside your own story. In Yoruba tradition, destiny is not cruel. It does not punish out of spite, but it corrects out of love. When a person wanders from their divine design, the universe responds through repetition. The same mistakes reappear, the same heartbreaks return, the same opportunities dissolve before your eyes. Each cycle is your Ori calling, not to harm, but to guide, urging you back to the frequency of who you truly are. The elders used to say, when Ori turns its back, even the sweetest fruit tastes bitter. This is not superstition. It is a description of spiritual misalignment. You may have money, recognition, and comfort, yet feel empty. You may chase dreams that look beautiful on the outside, but feel hollow when achieved. That emptiness is the echo of a forgotten agreement. Your outer life may glitter, but your inner compass spins without direction. Modern psychology calls it burnout, existential crisis, or imposter syndrome. But in Yoruba understanding, it is simply disconnection from Ori, a misalignment between the self you perform and the self you were born to become. The Yoruba did not separate emotional pain from spiritual pain. Both were signs that your inner compass needed realignment. The danger of going against your Ori is subtle. It rarely comes with thunder or lightning. Instead, it appears as noise, a life filled with distractions, with constant movement but no meaning. You can work hard, plan carefully, even pray. But if you act from a place of fear rather than faith in your Ori, your path becomes heavy. The current of destiny stops flowing smoothly. Resistance builds, doors close. You are rowing against your own river. In contrast, when a person honors their Ori, the same effort feels light. There is flow, synchronicity, and a quiet knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. But when that connection fades, life becomes an uphill climb. You start to question everything. Your purpose, your identity, even your faith. You seek validation from others, hoping their approval will silence the inner dissonance. Yet Ori waits patiently, never forcing, only reminding through circumstance. Sometimes misfortune is not punishment, but redirection. A lost job, a broken relationship, or an unexpected delay may simply be your Ori saying, "This is not your road." In Yoruba wisdom, even pain is a messenger of alignment. The word ponju, meaning hardship, often carries the hidden gift of awakening. Every challenge is a call to remember the truth of who you are. The elders performed rituals not to bribe the gods, but to listen, to tune their consciousness back to the vibration of destiny. They poured libations to Ori, seeking clarity rather than miracles. In that moment of stillness, they understood that peace does not come from controlling life, but from synchronizing with it. The true battle, then, is not between good and evil or luck and misfortune. It is between alignment and forgetfulness, between remembering your Ori and resisting it. Every struggle, every delay, every disappointment is part of that sacred tension pulling you back into harmony. Because when you finally surrender to your Ori, the chaos quiets. You stop chasing and begin attracting. You stop doubting and begin knowing. And in that moment, the battle ends. Not because the world changes, but because you have remembered who commands it from within. After the storm of disconnection, there comes a sacred calm. The moment when a person realizes that the way back was never far. It was always within. Reconnecting with your Ori is not about searching for something new. It is about remembering what has always been speaking softly inside you. The path to alignment is not a pilgrimage across distance, but a return across awareness. In Yoruba tradition, this journey begins with reverence. The elders say Ori is the first god to be fed. Before you ask the universe for blessings, you first acknowledge the divinity within you that grants permission for all things to flow. Honoring your Ori is not arrogance, it is humility, the recognition that you are not separate from the source, but a vessel of its design. The first act of alignment, therefore, is remembrance. There are many ways to honor your Ori. Some pour libations, offering water and palm oil as symbols of purity and clarity. Others sit in silence, hands on their heads, whispering gratitude to the unseen intelligence guiding their steps. These are not empty rituals. They are technologies of consciousness, ancient forms of mindfulness crafted long before the word existed. Each act, no matter how small, is a declaration. I am aligned with my divine design. But alignment is more than ritual. It is also responsibility. To follow your Ori means to trust your intuition, to walk with integrity, and to listen when life speaks in patterns. When opportunities dissolve or relationships fade, instead of fighting, you pause and ask, is this my Ori redirecting me? Every detour becomes a message, every delay a divine instruction. Life stops being random and becomes a dialogue between your human will and your cosmic blueprint. In practical terms, reconnecting with your Ori begins with stillness. You cannot hear divine instruction in the noise of constant striving. The Yoruba understood that silence is the doorway to the unseen. Through prayer, meditation, or the soft rhythm of breath, you begin to hear the gentle frequency of your inner compass. Over time, this awareness sharpens, and you begin to feel when something really resonates with your spirit or not. That is Ori speaking. The second principle is authenticity. Your Ori cannot thrive under disguise. When you pretend to be who you are not, your frequency distorts. You attract confusion instead of clarity. The Yoruba say, "Eni ti o mo arare ni ori engeboa," meaning, he who knows himself is heard by his Ori. To be in alignment, you must live truthfully, speak what you mean, do what you love, and honor what gives your spirit life. The more authentic you become, the louder your Ori's voice grows. The third principle is gratitude. In Yoruba spirituality, gratitude amplifies Ase, the creative power of life. When you thank your Ori for guidance even before clarity arrives, you strengthen the bridge between the seen and the unseen. Gratitude shifts your vibration from lack to abundance, from resistance to flow. You begin to notice synchronicities, small signs that your steps are being orchestrated by something wiser than logic. This is how destiny begins to move with grace again. And finally, there is service. Your Ori did not choose you merely for comfort, but for contribution. To live your destiny is to use your gifts in service of others. In Yoruba cosmology, the highest purpose is not to be great, but to be useful, to let your light expand the harmony of the collective. When you align with your Ori, your personal fulfillment becomes inseparable from the healing of your community. Your joy becomes medicine for others. In today's world, reconnecting with Ori may look like therapy, journaling, meditation, or acts of compassion. It may be as simple as saying thank you to the morning sun or trusting your intuition instead of your fears. You do not need to abandon modern life to live spiritually. You simply need to remember the ancient truth within it. The elders never separated the sacred from the ordinary. Every action, when done with awareness, becomes a prayer. And when you begin to walk in harmony with your Ori, life transforms quietly but profoundly. You start meeting people who reflect your highest path. You find opportunities that fit your rhythm instead of forcing you to shrink. You sleep deeply, speak gently, and move purposefully. Even your challenges feel meaningful, as if every obstacle is designed for your evolution. To reconnect with your Ori is to remember that you are not lost, not behind, not broken. You are becoming. Every breath is an invitation to return home to yourself, to the divine intelligence that chose you, formed you, and now patiently waits for you to listen again. Because the moment you do, the world rearranges itself around your alignment. The winds shift, the noise softens, the path clears, and destiny once distant begins to walk beside you again. Not as a mystery, but as a melody only your soul can hear. The deeper you walk with your Ori, the more you realize a paradox at the heart of destiny, that you are both the author and the actor of your own script. In Yoruba thought, destiny is not a prison. It is a pattern. It defines the boundaries of your story, but how you dance within them is up to you. This is the secret harmony between divine design and free will. Before birth, the soul chooses its Ori, the blueprint of experiences, lessons, and potentials it wishes to explore. Yet once in the world, it must navigate that plan through choice, intention, and awareness. In this way, destiny and free will are not enemies, they are partners. Ori lays the path, but your decisions determine how gracefully you walk it. The Yoruba use a metaphor. Destiny is like a song composed before birth, but life is the performance. The melody exists, but how you interpret it, the rhythm, the emotion, the pauses, is uniquely yours. Some play it with harmony, others with resistance. But the music always plays. To align with Ori is to play your song consciously, in tune with the universe that listens. Science hints at the same mystery. In quantum mechanics, probabilities exist until an observer chooses which reality collapses into form. In Yoruba wisdom, that observer is Ori, and your choices are the tuning fork. Free will is the instrument through which destiny becomes audible. You do not change your destiny by resisting it, but by refining your awareness of it. This understanding transforms the way you view life's events. Failure is not deviation, it is improvisation. Every detour still leads back to the original rhythm. Even chaos carries music for those who can listen deeply. When you realize this, you stop fighting your story and start collaborating with it. The destiny paradox is this: your Ori has already chosen the destination, but your spirit must still choose the journey. The universe watches, not to judge, but to witness the masterpiece of your becoming. Because destiny is not control, it is conversation. Between the infinite and the individual, between the code and the consciousness, between the eternal design and the one living it, you. Across centuries, Africa has been described by others through the lens of conquest, poverty, and pain. But beneath those narratives lies a deeper story, one older than empires and borders. It is the story of consciousness, of an ancient people who once understood that the true power of civilization begins within. And at the heart of that wisdom lies a single truth. When a person remembers their Ori, a nation remembers its destiny. The awakening of the African spirit is not a political movement, it is a spiritual return. It begins when individuals rediscover the divine architecture within themselves. Every young mind that realizes they carry infinite intelligence in their Ori, every artist who creates from their soul, every leader who serves from alignment, each one becomes a node of light in the collective field. When enough Ori align, an entire continent rises. For centuries, the world taught Africans to look outward, for approval, for answers, for salvation. But the ancestors left a message written in ritual and rhythm, that the true throne of power is within. The same creative force that birthed galaxies breathes inside every African soul. To remember your Ori is to remember that you are not broken, not late, not less. You are divine potential made flesh, and the future is waiting for your remembrance. Science and spirituality are finally speaking the same language, and it echoes Africa's oldest truth: consciousness creates reality. This means the rebirth of Africa will not come from politics or profit alone, it will come from awareness. When Africans begin to live from their Ori, they cease to imitate and start to innovate. They no longer chase freedom, they embody it. The quantum blueprint of the continent awakens one consciousness at a time. So as you watch this, know that you are not merely a spectator, you are part of the unfolding prophecy. The moment you remember your Ori, you add to the collective awakening of an entire people. You shift the frequency of history itself, because when Africa remembers her Ori, the world will remember its soul. If this message resonated with your spirit, honor it, share it, live it, and let it guide you. And if your Ori brought you here, it's for a reason. Subscribe, and let's keep awakening the blueprint together.